The footage from this video was recorded thanks to the EA Game Changers program. So I would like to thank EA for allowing me the chance to play the game early and bring you guys this content. Greetings! Now, a new and very useful feature in this FIFA is the ability to manually trigger runs. A lot of people have asked me about it and what these arrows were in my previous video, so today I'll quickly show you how to do it. First things first, if you want to see the directional arrows of the player, you will need to go into your controller settings and have your FIFA trainer on show. However, only do this at the start though, because eventually you may be playing in an online game mode which automatically disables this feature to show the arrows. Now, moving on to how to actually perform this feature, the first part is exactly how triggering runs was for last year. If you didn't know, to trigger a run while you have the ball, you tap the L1 button while aiming at the player you want to send on a run with your left stick. Same thing when you want to call a player short, except you press the R1 button to get the player you desire to come near you. And so the next step, which will allow you to tell them in which direction to run, is as follows. As usual, you tap the L1 button while using the left stick to aim at the desired player, and then after that, you flick your right stick in the direction you want him to go. You can literally choose any direction, and a good thing to keep in mind is that if you manually trigger these runs, it doesn't really matter whether you initially press L1 or R1, because even if you trigger a run and press L1, you can manually alter that run so the player comes to you. Alternatively, if you prefer pressing R1, you can alter the action of a player coming short and transform it into a run going in behind by using your right stick to flick it in that direction. Another thing that you can do is manually trigger a player's direction via the directed pass and go. That is, triggering the run of the player you just passed with. So to do this, after you perform a pass, flick the right stick in any direction you desire, and the player you just performed a pass with will run in that direction. And so that's how you perform this feature, but how do you apply this knowledge in game? And honestly, this is a very creative feature, so the full scope of its utility is most likely not even known yet to the player base. However, I have some interesting examples from the first couple of days of me playing with it. What I want to say first though is that I am currently super intrigued by this feature, so I'm definitely overusing it, which is fine at first because you want to get used to the mechanic, but with time, I think it's important to realize it has its time and place, and it's important not to over focus on it, as you might end up with a little bit of a tunnel vision. But if you need some ideas on how to start, what I did at first was I used this feature a lot on wide players to instruct them to diagonally run towards the inside and see how that would affect the play and where the play would take me. So if you sometimes struggle to get wingers involved, offensively, this might be a tool for you to do that and also force the opponent to potentially make certain decisions he may not have otherwise have had to make. My favorite example of using this feature, which might not seem like much, is this one right here, where I used it on Lukaku to push him out wide where nobody was marking that area. And in this case, it allowed me to feed him a ball tighter relative to where his run was, and so he was able to attack the ball using his strong foot. I've also found use in using this feature to make players run towards the side of the pitch, which can be very useful in situations where you seem to have no offensive outlet, and it can relieve some stress in possession. However, either way, as you start, the most important thing is to just get used to the feature and experiment to see what works with it, because worst case scenario, even if the run doesn't instantly lead to a chance in behind the defense, it might actually set up some interesting decoys. Anyways, that's going to be it for this small tutorial. I hope this was useful. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.